Straddling the border between Croatia and Bosnia, Mount Plješevica rises from dense forest, its limestone ridges standing sentinel over the valleys below. But something man-made mars the mountain's natural face, a clue to the silent secret it harbors. At its base lies a massive concrete entrance, 3 stories high, its distinctive geometry suggesting it once accommodated something far larger than any ordinary vehicle. Inside, a vast network of tunnels penetrates deep into the mountain's core, the remnants of a strange underground city. Their walls still bear traces of strange markings that hint at a more organized past. In the deepest chambers, rusted blast doors weighing over 100 tons hang askew from their tracks. Behind them, cavernous halls stretch into darkness. Rows of mysterious mounting points line the floor, suggesting the regular placement of massive equipment, while another room reveals an array of Cold War-era technological debris. These are the remains of the enigmatic Objekat 505. Context. The story of Objekat 505 began in 1948 when Yugoslav leader Josip Broz Tito did the unthinkable by defying Stalin and breaking away from Soviet control. Though it would maintain a communist system, Yugoslavia would chart its own path, aligning with neither East nor West. This bold move left Yugoslavia isolated and vulnerable. To the east, the Soviet Union fumed at this act of defiance. To the west, NATO viewed this communist state with deep suspicion. Tito knew his country needed to prepare for the possibility of attack from any direction. In the same year as the split with Stalin, construction began on a secret military installation unlike anything Europe had seen before. Deep in Yugoslavia's mountainous interior, an army of workers began hollowing out Mount Plješevica. This ambitious project would consume 2 decades and billions of dollars, a staggering investment for a country still rebuilding from World War II. Some of the funding reportedly came from World Bank loans, officially earmarked for infrastructure development. The real destination of these funds would remain hidden for decades. Some say entire villages were evacuated and demolished to make way for the facility, with only the local cemetery remaining untouched. Construction crews worked under strict security, with specialized teams handling different aspects of the project, so no single group understood its full scope. Meanwhile, CIA surveillance satellites are said to have regularly passed overhead, their operators puzzling over the growing complex beneath the mountain. The base. Only select military commanders knew the full truth. Yugoslavia had constructed the largest underground airbase in Europe. Within Mount Plješevica's stone walls lay over 3 miles of tunnels, an intricate network designed to house up to 60 fighter jets and 1,000 personnel. The mountain's face was pierced by 4 huge entrances, each protected by hydraulic doors weighing over 100 tons. 3 of these entrances featured distinctive notched openings, precisely engineered to accommodate the swept wings of MiG-21 fighters and other aircraft. These could taxi directly from their underground shelters to the airfield's 5 runways, 2 for both takeoff and landing, 3 dedicated solely to rapid takeoff in emergency situations. The heart of the complex consisted of 4 main galleries, arranged in an M pattern and designated A through D. These cavernous spaces stretched up to 50 feet wide and 40 feet high, their arched ceilings reinforced with thick layers of concrete to withstand direct bombing. These galleries were home to the 124th and 125th Fighter Aviation Squadrons, along with the 352nd Reconnaissance Squadron. But Zeljava Air Base, as it would later become known, was far more than just an aircraft shelter. Deep within the mountain lay the classified nerve center of Yugoslavia's air defense system. The base's Selipec radar facility monitored the skies from a secret location high up Mount Plješevica's slopes, while a command center coordinated air operations across the region. An elevator shaft rose 200 feet through solid rock to connect the underground complex with a hidden control tower near the mountain's peak. The facility was designed to function as a self-contained city during wartime. The sprawling network of support systems included 2 independent power plants, water reservoirs, and a fuel supply piped in from storage facilities nearly 10 miles away. The air conditioning system alone required 13 separate plants. These plants didn't just cool the air, they maintained a carefully calibrated atmosphere for optimal operating conditions the temperature in aircraft galleries and sensitive equipment areas was kept at a constant 18 degrees Celsius. Sophisticated ventilation systems extracted engine exhaust and maintained breathable air throughout the vast network of tunnels. The facility's defensive capabilities were equally impressive. Engineers claimed the base could withstand a direct hit from a 20-kiloton nuclear weapon, equivalent to the bomb dropped on Nagasaki. If attacked, massive blast doors would seal within minutes, while an advanced filtration system protected against chemical or biological weapons. The base stored enough supplies to operate completely cut off from the outside world for up to 30 days. Life at Zelljava. For those based at Zelljava, life followed strict routines. Aircraft maintenance crews worked around the clock in specialized bays equipped with advanced diagnostic equipment. Pilots remained on constant alert, ready to scramble their jets at a moment's notice. In the mess hall, kitchen staff prepared meals for hundreds at a time, while administrative personnel managed the complex logistics of running a subterranean Air Force base. The base was one of only 2 in Yugoslavia that operated around the clock, requiring a small city's worth of support personnel. Most of the servicemen and their families lived in a specially constructed quarter of Bihać called Harmani, making the short drive to the base for their shifts. While pilots and maintenance crews worked in the mountain's depths, their children attended local schools, and their families built lives in the growing community. Even in peacetime, the base maintained constant combat readiness. Day and night, pilots practiced rapid deployment drills, racing to their aircraft at a moment's notice. The distinctive roar of MiG engines would echo through the tunnels as jets emerged from their underground shelter to streak into the Yugoslav skies. The emphasis on discipline and preparedness was a reflection of Yugoslavia's proud yet precarious non-aligned position in the Cold War. From its strategic position in the mountains, the base's radar systems scanned the skies for potential threats from any direction, whether east or west, while its reinforced chambers could protect Yugoslav aircraft from American or Soviet bombs alike. Destruction. For decades, Zelljava Air Base remained a potent military asset, poised to protect Yugoslavia from any external enemy. However, by the late 1980s, it was becoming increasingly clear that the main threat to the existence of Yugoslavia was not from outside forces, but from within. Following Tito's passing in 1980, a power struggle erupted, and a decade later, rising ethnic nationalism among Serbs, Croats, and Bosniaks, combined with economic woes and the collapse of communist regimes across Eastern Europe, left Yugoslavian unity in a critical condition. In June 1991, Croatia declared its independence, leading to war with the Serb-dominated Yugoslavian government. Zelljava Air Base, still in the hands of the Yugoslavian People's Army, but precariously positioned on the Croatian border and with many ethnic Croat servicemen stationed there, was thrown into chaos. In October of that year, Croatian pilot Rudolf Perishin made headlines when he fled the base in his MiG-21, escaping to neighboring Austria to avoid being forced to fight his own people. He would not be the last pilot to defect. The Yugoslav People's Army was determined not to let the base fall into enemy hands. Fortunately, the base's architects had foreseen such a possibility. Hidden beneath the runways lay pre-built chambers explicitly designed for demolition charges. As they withdrew in 1991, these charges turned the once pristine airfield into a cratered wasteland. But the true destruction was yet to come. In 1992, determined to prevent any future military use of the facility, the Yugoslav People's Army detonated an additional 56 tons of explosives inside the mountain itself. The blast shook the city of Bihać miles away. Local residents reported seeing smoke rising from the tunnels for 6 months afterward. Objekat 505 today. Today, Zelljava Air Base lies abandoned. The once impenetrable fortress has been reduced to a maze of darkened tunnels. Water drips from cracked ceilings, and twisted metal from the demolition still litters the galleries. The sophisticated command center, which once monitored the skies of southeastern Europe, now sits in darkness. The base's runways, though scarred by demolition charges, still stretch across the landscape. Police units occasionally use the area to train bomb detection dogs, while the surrounding grounds remain dangerous due to uncleared landmines. In 2000, these hidden weapons claimed the life of a Bosnian Air Force major who ventured too far from the marked paths while foraging for mushrooms. Nature has begun to reclaim what man abandoned. Vegetation creeps through cracks in the concrete, while weeds push through fissures in the once pristine runways. Yet, even as the mountain works to erase this Cold War relic, Objekat 505's massive doors and cavernous galleries remain a testament to one of the most ambitious military engineering projects Europe has ever seen.